Hello, wonderful people. I realise that this is a really odd time for me to be going live. Ideal if you're in Australia, it's after dinner for most. So I realise that there may be no one coming to this stream, but I thought I'd jump in and do a live stream anyway. I've got this big, long list of things that I wanted to cover, and I've also got a backlog of videos that I've been working on. So I thought, well, it's a bit of a quiet evening for me. Oh, I've got someone in. Hi, John. I actually thought I was going to be able to sneak this one under the radar, given the time that I was doing it in. But welcome to my live stream. I was just saying I've got a backlog of things that I wanted to talk about, and Mrs. G's here too. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so much for sneaking in under the radar with a live stream. But let's do it. So I wanted to have a look at the number of people that have dropped out, that have just evaporated in Kiely's case, and the different reasons that they've done it. Because, well, I think this week gives us a good idea of why so many people have evaporated when it comes to covering Kiely. So I can see 3 people in my chat section. So welcome to Joy and John and Mrs. G. And to the other people who are just quietly listening in the background, welcome to you as well. I'm actually quite amazed that Joy jumped in, because I didn't even really know I was going to go live. I was just sitting here and thought, okay, well, I might do a quick live stream. So going back to all these people that have evaporated when it comes to Kiely's case. So it kind of fits in with, and I think this is part of the reason that I was thinking about it, because they recently, in the past couple of days, they found some remains near Kingsport in Tennessee. And people got, I think, a little bit excited. They thought it might have been Summer Wells. But to the best of my knowledge, I haven't looked for several hours, but I think it turned out to be adult male remains that they had found. So it wasn't Summer Wells. But it got me thinking about the craziness that happened with Summer Wells's case. And we've got all the same kind of craziness going on here with Kiely's case. Okay, give me half a moment. Taka, come on your bed, darling. Come on your bed. Sorry, that's the older dog. She's a little bit blind, so she needs to know where I am. They've just been outside and come back in. So, sorry, clicking fingers to... Come on, you two, hop up. Okay, got the dog settled. Now we'll get back to it. Yeah, I'm not... Both the dogs, I don't know where the cat is at the moment. She's napping somewhere probably. I've got a big Kelpie Lab cross. So Kelpies are an Australian breed of dog that are... They're a working dog. And so she's a cross between a working dog and a Labrador. And the other one's a Chihuahua. Okay, so now that I've got the dog settled, although Amira's going to sit here and make a lot of noise, a little bit of fussing around and all that till she settles. So you'll probably hear her in the background. I was thinking about the craziness of Summer Wells and the nastiness that went on with Summer Wells. And all the same stuff again with the Idaho 4. And we saw, I didn't realise until it was already happening, or till it had happened to us, the people that were being given content strikes to do with the Idaho 4 by other creators trying to take them down. Yeah, it is. It's like, so are the days of our lives. It's ridiculous. You get these particular cases where you just get the really odd people come out of the woodwork. So, and they're all cases that start off with a huge following. So many people covered Summer's case. So many people covered the Idaho 4. And Kiely's case just went crazy when she was missing. And then you had exactly the same thing happen with every single case. Bunch of creators just went, yep, okay, I'm done. And they just dropped it. And then you had the people such as ourselves who kept pushing with the case, and because of that got attacked by people. I found it really funny with Kiely's case that after the autopsy came out, or probably after the Adventures with Purpose video came out first, people were all riled up and they were like, it's foul play, this is really bad, someone did something bad to this child. And people were up in arms about it and they wanted to fight for justice for Kiely. And then the autopsy came out and a few people went by the wayside and went, oh, well, the autopsy says that it was accidental drowning, so oh, are you saying my audio is funny? Oh, how bad is the audio? Let me know if it's really bad and I'll jump out. It's possible that I'm knocking the charging cable at the moment because I'm doing this on my iPhone and I've got the charger plugged in. You can handle it? Cool. I might, hang on, I'll unplug the charger for now. I've still got like 83%, so I should be able to do this. Is that better without the charger plugged in? Oh, hi Goslin. Haven't seen you around in a while. 007. So, yeah, just looking at the number of people that fell away after. No, you're fine. You can disrupt. I have squirrels. I get disrupted easily. Chances are any minute the cat's going to start belting around the house like a nutcase, and I'll still be even more distracted. So good to see you, Goslin. It's been a while. So, scratching is a good word. Scratching as in the noise is scratchy. Okay, I'm just going to push on. I apologise if there are sound issues. I guess possibly the other issue is that doing a live stream this time of evening, there's probably quite a few people in the area using the internet. So there's probably not as much bandwidth. Why did people just accept the accidental drowning thing and just walk away from Kiely's case? Because these are creators who are really intelligent people and who would have known that it wasn't an accidental drowning. I'm talking about people like Grizzly True Crime and Christine Randall and Duty Ron. They just, I didn't actually watch Grizzly's final Kiely live stream because the title of it was something like autopsy and closure. So it was pretty clear from the get-go that she was just going, yep, okay, I'm done. End of story. I'm not looking at this case anymore. Yeah, I think part of it is because of Lindsay and that speech that she made. telling us all there's honour in silence and everything. But I think something that really, really came home today for me too was when they found Dylan Rounds. And that's been 2 years, I think. I think it's been about 2 years since that mongrel took his life. And his mother has been fighting from the get-go for justice and for them to find her boy. And it really hit home to me today that the reason that they found Dylan and that the reason that the guy got arrested because of what he did to Dylan Rounds was because his mother was not going to give it up. But in Kiely's case, her family just let it go. I don't know why they let it go. I hope that they're safe. It was 2 years with Dylan. I thought so. Seems like an eternity. I know some people have been critical about the fact that the mongrel was given a plea deal in return for taking them to find where Dylan was. But I keep thinking about Kristen Smart. She's been gone, 26, 27 years now? And her parents still are trying to find her body. You know, that mongrel Flores has been in jail now for a few years. Because that case actually was in court when Kiely went missing. So, almost 27. Holy cow. I wish they could find her. I have a purple butterfly that I've got hanging in a window that is my Kristen Smart butterfly. Because I was actually only a few years out of college myself when she went missing. And that case really struck me. You know, I was only a few years older than Kristen. And her going missing, it really struck me. And then when the podcast came out and that Chris guy did the podcast and it all started coming out and there was a finally arrest, I made, it's a clay butterfly. If you're one of my members, you will have seen it in my art showcase video that I did. That purple butterfly that's on a string with the gems, that's there hanging up for Kristen Smart. And I need to do myself a Kiely one as well. But that's there. It's kind of like my prayer that one day Kristen's body will be able to go home to her family. Yeah, it is, you know, it's good to know that Dylan's going home, but it's also heartbreaking. Oh, hi, Christine. Ha. So much for me sneaking under the radar with a quiet live stream. I was thinking I might have, maybe one or two people in, but there's a few night owls in there, so welcome in. So I was talking about the people like Grizzly and Christine Randall, the big channels who just dropped Kiely's case. And I think for me, the one that aggravated me the most was Judy Ron, because he did all those live streams with his offsider, and I can't think of his name right now. They did those live streams where they called out all the things that were wrong with Kiely's case, and they even had Barbara Butcher in. And they did a thing with Barbara Butcher. And then they just went, yep, okay, we're done. Thanks. See you later. No more Kiely Rodni. Do Ron. Yeah, I feel like that about him now. I've actually barely watched anything of his since he dropped Kiely, because I was really, really annoyed with him. He had... Oh, yeah, sorry, I don't know what the deal is with the sound. The kitten... Well, now I know what's wrong with the sound. Sorry, just bear with it for a minute. Sorry. Someone shut a car door outside, and my dog doesn't like that. My kitten ate my microphone, so I'm working without a microphone at the moment. So it does make the sound a bit funny. Yeah, and Greg Hughes as well, but I would expect nothing less of him because he is a douchebag. He is definitely 100% in it for the money. I mean, this is a guy who will stop his live stream midway through and say, I'm not going to continue the live stream until I get this amount of money from people who are listening. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he is so arrogant. Cupcakes are in a different category than cake. I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask. But yeah, Judy Ron, he had the power to make a huge difference for Kiely. And yet he just dropped it and walked away. And so many of the bigger channels did it because for them, it's all about the money. Yeah, my animals. This is crazy time for my animals, which is the other reason why I was a bit reluctant to do a live. But like I said, I wanted to get through all these notes that I'd made about all the channels that evaporated and the different reasons for the channels evaporating, because I thought it was a timely discussion. So we've got these channels that were motivated by money, that walked away because of money. You've got a few others who did it, I guess, partly because of money, but they haven't completely given up on Kiely. So when you look at Kelly with What's the Obsession and Shan with Harsh Reality, they haven't completely walked away from Kiely. Every now and then they'll bring her up when it's important. Yeah, he lost my... Judy Ron lost I lost all my respect for him when he walked away from Kiely's case. He, like I said, he had the power to make a huge difference. But yeah, so I mean, we've got a few big channels like What's the Obsession and Harsh who will touch on Kiely occasionally. Oh, thank you, Joy. But the rest of the big channels have just gone on with following the trends and left the rest of us behind trying to get Kiely's name out there. But what about the other channels? What about 10 to Life? I know that she's definitely money driven, but she pulled down all her Kiely content. And then all of a sudden, she gets some great deal doing some podcast where she's now some really super important podcasty kind of person. And that coincided with her pulling down all her content. Similar to Michelle Sutton. She gets given a book deal or something like that. And suddenly she's out of the Kiely case. What was going on there? You've got to wonder. And then you've got the concerning ones. Tennessee Yankee. I can't throw her out my front door anymore. She's nice. She was here for my good. Okay, I don't really Yeah, I was never keen on Michelle Sutton. I watched, I think, one of her live streams. You all know which one that was. I just didn't really get into following her content. I gather, and I didn't follow all that, but I gather that she caused a lot of upset at one point in time before she just vanished off the radar. But you've got other creators who were doing some really, really good stuff for Kylie's case. Tennessee Yankee, Shan and I have both said how much we wish we had his content still, because all the stuff that he did on the flight paths was amazing and it was so telling. And he'd also done a lot of research into the technology that was used by the different craft, the helicopters and planes. I know that not long before his channel vanished, I'd had a discussion with him about the magnetic anomaly detectors that were being used by some search vessels, because I had gotten wind of a boat that had been searching Prosser using a magnetic anomaly detector, which is basically, it's a big thing that tells you if there's anything metal underneath you. So he was looking more into them around the time that his channel went poof. And it did, it just vanished. And same with James, his friend, our 22 cents. Yeah, new cameras might shed light. Were they saying? Cameras at a youth hostel or a yeah, I hope that they can get to the bottom of that with Riley Strain. But there's another case where his mother is determined to fight for him and fight for the truth, because otherwise that would have just been ignored. The case would have just gone away like so many others. So I hope that there is justice for Riley as well. But so we've got those two channels that just kind of stopped out of nowhere. And then you've got the ones that were bullied off. You have that Jeff dude who suddenly appeared out of nowhere. And he was creating drama amongst all the channels. Does this sound familiar to you? He just randomly appears. He's creating drama amongst all the channels. And suddenly you have Squirrel Girl, who was one of the original Kiely creators and who was doing amazing stuff. And she just leaves because of the bullying. Same with Charlotte Green. She got bullied off the channel. Your life insurance lady made you do the math, Gosling. That's because she knows how old you are when you don't. You got to worry. One guess who the PI is for Riley. There is a video on YouTube that I've got to watch where that douchebag has apparently made some big drama about not being included in Riley's case. I really, really hope that he isn't connected with Riley's family in any way, because I don't trust the guy of all the private investigators that you don't want on a case about a missing child, you really don't want that particular private investigator who covered Kiely's case. So I hope that he is pushed out and that the family aren't silly enough to communicate with him in any way. That's nuts. Okay, so we've got all these channels that have just gone for various reasons. I'm not distracted by imposters and clout chasers. Yeah, well, I think they're probably really disappointed that they haven't been able to get rid of Shan, because if you have a look at the amount of drama that's been created in the last 20 months, and every time people start getting loud about Kiely, the drama starts again. And you start getting all the hatred coming out, and you start getting the bullying coming out. And it's just baffling when you realise that a lot of the bullying is coming from people who are saying that this case is just an accident. You know, nothing to see here, guys. Move on. So why do they need to shut us down? Yeah, I haven't finished watching the Seeker of Truth videos. Now, here's an interesting one for you, Mrs. G. Have a think about the strikes that you and I had, the person we have in common who gave us strikes, and the fact that they are apparently really good friends with a certain kayaking creator. Not just really good friends with that kayaking creator, but they have met that kayaking creator in person. Does that have any bearing on why that individual and his girlfriend have decided to come after all of us? I don't know. I have never spoken about Mrs. Kayak until probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then it was straight after I spoke about Mrs. Kayak that our friend Tony started coming after us. It's really odd. But, you know, the bullying is going to continue. And it seems like they're not done with trying to strike people. That's going to get old pretty soon, though. But I don't think they realise the tenacity of the people who are still fighting. I mean, there's a video that I want to try and see if I can do a remake of. And Mrs. G, I'm sure you've seen this video, but it's a video that I haven't seen it in years. But it's about this honey badger, and it's in somewhere like Germany or somewhere like that. And this honey badger is at a zoo or a animal shelter type place or something like that. And this whole video is about this honey badger keeps escaping. And like the zookeeper guy keeps doing different things to stop the honey badger escaping. And the honey badger just keeps figuring it out and escaping. is the most tenacious animal on the planet. And that just keeps coming to mind. So I think it's great that we have our own honey badger amongst the squirrels, who you cannot stop a honey badger. They are tenacious. So, yeah, you're not going to beat the honey badger. Full stop, end of story. And I will have to make a video about that. But why are there people also? It's not just people coming at us. But here's the thing that gets me confused, is people who were adamant about fighting for Kiely and are now coming at content creators who are still fighting for Kiely. There's just some really, really shady stuff going on in the background here. I know, Shan. I thought that I was going to sneak in and do a quiet little live stream, pretty much all to myself, with maybe 1 or 2 people in here. And I was thinking, well, maybe there'll be 1 or 2 listeners from Australia who pop in to listen. So far, I don't think I've seen any other Australians in here. You guys are all popping up all over the place. The only one that's asleep here is my dog, and she's snoring like mad. Rob Bontus, new drop. No. Hang on. Let me figure out. Do you want to come up, Shan? If I can figure out how to drop the link. It'd be really cool if you wanted to come up. Hang on. I'm just having... Okay, hang on. So if I go into post comment, paste. Does that work? So I think I've dropped the link if you want to come up, Shan. Because I haven't caught any of that. It's been such a big day with stuff happening. There was the rumours about the remains around Kingsport, which weren't summer, and then they found Dylan Rounds, which was pretty amazing. And of course, this morning for me, so I don't know when it would have been for you guys, but the Crumblies getting 10 to 15 years for their involuntary manslaughter. No, that's cool, Shan. I just thought I'd offer. And now I've learned how to do that. So, wow, allowing their dog outside to bark at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd kill my dog. No, I wouldn't. I should not say that. But I would get very cranky with my dog if she wanted to bark outside at 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh, and Ara's awake too. My gosh, don't any of you people sleep? I was like, yeah, it's 6 o'clock at night. Everyone in the US is going to be asleep. I'll just slide under the radar, do a little bit of a live stream, get some thoughts out there rather than trying to put it into a video and have all the dramas of then trying to compress the video enough to save it and all that stuff. And everyone turns up. Yeah, clearly none of you sleep. Oh dear. And there we go again. So hold that thought for a minute. I'm going to mute my mic. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. They don't believe that anybody should park their car outside the house. So if they hear someone shut a car door anywhere within the vicinity of the house, they go nuts. And yeah, Taka is very loud. She's got that very bellowing bark that you get from a Labrador. Oh, hello, there's more people coming in. I apologise if I scared people with my loud dogs. They never give me any warning. They can go from being fast asleep to barking like crazy nutters in no time whatsoever. But Taka's taken over the couch, so hopefully she'll fall asleep now. And Amira's asleep on my feet, so just maybe we might be able to continue without too much canine interruption. Sorry, if I go silent, you'll know why. Well, you'll hear why, because obviously the silence is usually straight after the dogs have a bit of a crazy moment. I'm not sure how much longer I can go live for then, because if they're in that kind of mood, it may be a case of just going, well, okay, this was a bad idea. Yeah, Ara, I hope you're looking after yourself, because otherwise I might have to get Shan onto you. Okay, so touch wood, I have dogs settling down. So Wookie's a new one for me, but welcome, Wookie. I'm glad to see you here. I really like seeing new names in here. That's pretty cool. Yeah, gotta love the dogs, but geez, they can be naughty sometimes. Okay, and the dogs have completely sidetracked me. Oh, so yeah, after questioning what's happened, where have all the creators gone that were covering Kiely and why have they all gone, I did do something the other day. And I mean, I do this quite regularly anyway, just out of interest. And I go into YouTube and I do a search. It was actually Shan that put me on to doing this. Shan does this, and I'd never thought to do it. But I did a search for Kiely and then made it for within the last week, because there were a few days there this week when it felt like there was no Kiely content coming out. And I've realised that there is, but somehow we just don't seem to be seeing a lot of what's coming out. So I looked. Yeah, it did. Okay, see you later, Fred. Have a great day at work. I think it ramped up more than what I realised. Like I said, I thought there was almost no one putting anything out about Kylie over the last couple of weeks. But then I did a search and I suddenly realised that there were names popping up all over the place of people who were covering Kylie. And the thing that I found that was utterly brilliant, and I know that people criticise Ryan and people disagree with the stuff that Ryan comes out with, but this is really, really important. Ryan put out his videos about Kylie, and then immediately after he had done so, there were probably another 4 or 5 channels who aren't Kylie content creators, but who have a really respectable following, and they were talking about Kylie. So, hey Casey, good to see you in here as well. 9:50 a.m. Is it really that late in the morning for you? Wow. So, yeah, I don't always agree with everything that Ryan says, but people watch him. And people who don't know about Kylie's case watch him and start talking about Kylie. So there were a few channels that I'd not heard of. And then one that I'd only heard Shan talking about was that BX Beast Boy, or what is it? That one. He does a lot of really great reaction stuff, and I'd never really looked at his channel. But he came up as one of the creators that was covering Kylie, well, had spoken about Kylie. And I found it interesting because he was saying, well, I've only looked into a little bit. BX Beast Boy, yeah, he's brilliant. So he was saying he'd only looked at it a little bit, but that he thought it was really sus and that he was going to go and have another look at it. So if we've got Ryan talking about Kylie, asking questions, even if we don't agree with everything that he's asking, he's getting her name out there. He's getting more people looking at her. So I guess I can't complain. But I also noticed on top of him, you had our usual group of people. Ara had done content, Mark had done content, Knobhead, as I would like to call him from now on, because I think that was brilliant that Harsh came up with that name for him. Knobhead is still doing his Kylie content, as is Musty. But yeah, there's actually still plenty of people who are talking about Kylie, but somehow it's just hiding in the YouTube algorithm, which, I mean, we've had that happen so often, but it's just frustrating that it seems to be happening again. He says things are a little off on purpose. As in Ryan's. Yeah, Ryan does. I think Ryan is doing his best to get people talking. And yeah, we are. I think we are Shadowband. Because like I said, before I went in and did my search and started scrolling through and seeing that there was a lot of Kiely content put out in the last week, I was having a little bit of a moment and going, well, who is talking about Kiely? And it turns out we are all talking about Kiely. It's just that we're being shadow banned. And of course, we're being censored because I have no doubt that when you have people in the background who are trying to shut you down, that when you're getting hit with strikes and stuff like that, that has an effect on your channel. And when there's negative stuff being put out about your channel, that has a negative effect on your channel. But yeah, more and more people are talking and more people are trying to shut us down. But it's not going to happen. I mean, those of us that are still here and are still going, we have, I hope I'm not being too presumptuous here, but we've got each other for support. I mean, I know I'm doing my best to get to everyone when they do their content. So I'm putting my support there for them. Good night, Joy. Get a bit of sleep. And I think that was the other reason why I thought I'd do a live stream, because I hadn't really done much today for Kiely. So I thought, well, if I jump in and I do a quick live stream, a quiet live stream with no one around, that I was still doing my bit. But I think when you think about it, Kiely's got a really strong bunch of people fighting for her now. And I think that's, ooh, wow, it must be getting close to morning time for you guys. I think that's what we need to keep in mind right now, is that none of us are doing this alone. That's the thing I've learned. Good night, Katie. I will keep it going for a little while until my dogs wake up again and have another crazy, although the Chihuahua is snoring her head off right now, so touch wood, we might be left in peace. But I think it's important for us to remember, not get bogged down by the number of channels that have gone, or get bogged down by the hatred that's been thrown at us, or the strikes that's been thrown at us. But to remember that, oh, I'm crackling again. Wow. It must be something to do with like doing an evening live stream. Unless, of course, it's the snoring from the dog, but I don't think that sounds like a crackle. Sorry, she's now ramping up the snoring to full bore. Yeah, fake people, that's what it is. I think I was yesterday, I was questioning my role in terms of fighting for Kiely. Because, well, things haven't been great this week. There's been people throwing out content strikes. There's been lots of bullying going on. And I was questioning if there was still value in me putting content out. And I went on Facebook, and you've seen the video. So I was just sitting here questioning everything, went on Facebook, and there's a video of this car that just got in the lake around the corner from me. And I thought, wow, that's a sign. I think we are meant to continue fighting for Kiely. I think those of us who are continuing to fight for Kiely are here for each other. We can support each other. And I think it's important that we do continue to support each other. I'm wary about supporting new channels, and that's for a really, really good reason. But I know the channels that are good and the channels truly are here for Kiely. And they've got my support. And yeah, I think I'm getting sidetracked now because I don't know if you can hear it, but my dog is snoring so loud. It's like the snoring is penetrating into my brain. She's happy as Larry, but I've lost my place in my notes. I had pages and pages of notes, but I've lost my place. Yeah, that's the thing. They should just. Yes, I have lots of squirrels, and it's 7 o'clock at night, which is still kind of early, but I seem to be like so very ADHD. Like it just seems like someone turned on a switch and amped up my ADHD. So I'm sitting here talking to you guys, trying to find my place in my notes, listening to my chihuahua snoring like a buzz snore, and the heating has just turned on, and I'm not used to that because it's only just heading into the cooler weather, so I'm not used to the sound of the heating. So my squirrels are just all over the place. It's just crazy. Yeah, Mrs. G, that's one of the things that makes me really sad, is that I think Judy was a good person. Everything I saw about her, she was a good person. And she was trying, she supported that truckie local because she was a good person. But I think she was trying to get that truckie local to learn how to be a good person herself. And since she's died, that person has not shown respect for her through her own actions. Yeah, I feel sad for Judy's dog too. That dog adored her. It was so cute listening to the way that the dog had all his toy balls that he loved to play with, and hopefully he's being well loved and well cared for. But I know it's always hard on the animals when their owner passes. I know. When my mum passed away, she had 3 dogs, and they all came home with me. And the 2 older dogs just really, really struggled after she was gone. The younger dog was only a few years old, so she sort of settled and became part of the family. But the 2 older dogs they really fretted, and yeah, they didn't really thrive after that. But that's a really sad thing to start thinking about. I think my squirrels have completely gone berserk, and the cat is awake, which means that all hell is going to break loose here in a minute. So I didn't quite cover everything that I was going to cover, but I guess that's an excuse to do another live stream, probably tomorrow morning or sometime tomorrow anyway. Maybe I can write my notes out bigger or neater, or figure out a better way of sticking with my notes so that I don't get quite so distracted. But yeah, and it's been nearly an hour, so no, I don't think I'll come back on tonight. I can imagine, I know the way it works with these crazy critters in my household. The cat's going to go crazy very soon. She's going to get the dogs stirred up. And then when they all calm down, the chihuahua's going to decide that it's time for bed. So it's probably a really good time for me to make a graceful exit before things just turn to madness. So yeah, hopefully someone else will be live soon. Mrs. G, did you say you'll go live now? It'd be great if someone else is going live, because then I can get my dogs, get through the crazies with my animals, and I can just settle in for the evening and listen to someone going live. Otherwise, I will catch up with everyone tomorrow, my time, which will probably be today for you guys, I guess, since it's morning for you guys. I get confused. I think you're saving the other half of you. Okay, cool. Before I go, I will just remind people that you can find Mrs. G, you can find Squirrels on Fire, you can find Ninja Chihuahua, and you can find Salagi, all on Rumble. I know that I think all of us have got content that's on Rumble that's not on YouTube. I've also backed up some of my YouTube content over there as well. So you may click on a video and start watching it and go, oh, I've seen this. But definitely, all 4 of us have got videos over there that aren't on YouTube. So if you haven't been across to Rumble and had a look, go across and have a look. We're trying to get Shan up to 100 followers. Is that correct, Shan? 100? Once Shan's up to 100 followers, then that's another area where we can have live streams. Shan can go live on Rumble. So if you are not following Shan, Squirrels on Fire, on Rumble, go over there and click on her channel to follow it. I'd love extra followers over there too. I've got 34. I'm not in a hurry to go live over there because I'm still getting the swing of going live over here. But definitely, if you haven't been over to Rumble and you haven't clicked on Shan's channel, Squirrels on Fire, and she'll do a community post with the link for that after this live anyway. So please go across and click on follow for Squirrels on Fire, and then we have another place where we can go live without any kind of censorship. Mrs. G, you can stream on Twitch and TikTok. I'm not on either of them, but I'm definitely on Rumble. Like I said, do come and join me over there. But most importantly, for more relaxed live streams with Shan, let's get her up to 100. So I think at last count you were getting pretty close, weren't you, Shan? I can't remember the numbers offhand, but I was in your channel today and went, yep, not too far off. So let's make that our squirrel goal for this week. Yep. Okay, catch you later, Wookie. Okay, so yeah, this week's goal, let's get Shan's Rumble up to 100. And while you're over there, if you do want to click follow on mine, that would be great. If you are listening to this and you're not subscribed to my channel, I don't usually ask people to subscribe, but hey, what the heck, since we're talking about people following people on Rumble and stuff like that. Yeah, click the like if you come in. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Love you all. I very much appreciate everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate everyone who are members, and I appreciate everyone who just comes and listens. So, and I appreciate everyone who puts up with my squirrels going berserk when I try to do a live stream. Maybe one day I'll be as efficient as Shan at doing live streams. I think I need handlers when I go live, people who can actually keep me on track. But I'll try and learn. Anyway, so oh yeah, I used to love Tennessee Yankee too, and I'm really disappointed that he's gone. Okay, love you guys. If you haven't, practice might not get me there. You don't know how bad my squirrels are sometimes, Shan. I try, but I get distracted easily. Especially, yeah, it's such an ADHD thing for me. External noises just get me every time. And when you have a chihuahua snoring really, really, really loudly, that's enough to finish me off. So, love you guys. Watch out for the piranhas. Go over to Rumble. Sign up to Shan's channel. And I'll see you all next time that I go live. And no doubt I'll have some more. Yeah, I can try and put the squirrels in the closet, but we try. So, yeah, good night or good morning. Thanks for dropping in. Love you guys. See you later.